to the Raptors Show on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. A reminder, we're streaming live on Sportsnet's YouTube channel and airing live on Sportsnet 360 Monday to Friday between 2 and 3 p.m. I am your host, William Liu, and I am joined by producer and co-host Alex Wong. Back after 2 glorious off days. Alex, what'd you do with your time off, man?
Absolutely nothing. I was just scrolling through photos from our live event for the past 48 hours, just soaking it in. But yeah, no, appreciate the time off. You know, everything is good in moderation, including Alex and Will on this show. So just figured it's good to have, Vivek Jacob, Oren Weisfeld, Blake Murphy, let you get your fill of basketball talk. Because you seem like you're in like hoop talks mode this week.
I mean, there's just been a lot of good basketball.
Has there been, though? The games haven't been that good.
I mean, yeah, okay. So they haven't been that competitive. I mean, they're not like down to the wire or anything, but it's interesting. You always like to look at game one, see how things sort of feel out. Yeah, we saw a little bit more of a lopsided one yesterday. Although I'm pretty happy to see the Warriors like get back to top gear for them, because at least something close to top gear. Because even though they played well enough to get to this point and they were able to beat Memphis, like just didn't really feel like at any point that they did play close to like their old Warrior self. And I thought yesterday the way they were able to overwhelm the Mavericks, especially the way they opened the third quarter. The Warriors have always been known for their third quarter pushes. So it was kind of like anytime the Warriors do something really good, it feels like vintage and you start to feel like a little bit of nostalgia. And then you feel a little sad because 2015 is not vintage. That's just 2015. Anyway.
No, that is already a while ago. Yeah, no, it was good performance by the Warriors. I was thinking too, because we've been talking about how like this is not the same Steph, this is not the same Klay Thompson or Draymond Green, because I think like they're held to such a high standard, right?
Yeah.
Like they were literally with Kevin Durant one of the best teams of all time, 16-1 through the playoffs that one year. Even though they are not the same team anymore, I guess my question is like, is that good enough to win the championship this year? It might be.
Yeah, I mean, well, they don't have to face like a LeBron-led super team waiting for them at the very end of it. So I think that helps. I think that, when you're looking at this current team in the Mavericks, it's actually kind of interesting. So I've already made this comparison where the way Luka was playing at times in that Suns series reminded me of the style that like LeBron plays at, especially the older version of LeBron, where he's going to hunt you for mismatches. Obviously has the size to shoot over people, has the distribution, everything like that, can impact the game at all levels. But just that sort of like total dominance offensively, and using that methodical style to attack mismatches. Luka was starting to remind me of that. And if there was one team that was like pretty well rehearsed to try to throw different defensive looks at that type of player, it would have been the Warriors, who obviously had to do it many, many years over and over again against LeBron. They were pretty rehearsed in this front. And yeah, I mean, shouts to Steph No, Bulls writer in the past. I don't know where he's.
Yeah, he does work at Sporting News.
Sporting News.
Sporting
right,
News. Yeah. Yo, he does some great stuff.
He really is. He really, really does a lot of great stuff.
Happy Asian Heritage Month.
Yeah, that's why. That's not why I'm bringing it up.
Okay.
But anyway, I saw Steph put together a video today where he detailed that in the first quarter of, I think the first 9 minutes of the first quarter, the Warriors had already cycled through 5 defensive looks against Luka. And to me, it was like, so, you saw things like switching, right, which was probably the most basic look. We saw the Suns start to do a little bit of switching against Luka. We saw some hedging, some soft traps. We saw box and one. We saw either a 3-2 zone or like a 1-2-2 zone. In any case, like we saw variations of zone looks as well. And this was all within the first opening quarter of the game, right? So it really forced Luka, who is already a very smart player, but to force him to think even more and to sort of like not fully know where the defense is coming from, throw him off his rhythm. And I thought that was a really great way for the Warriors to start. And if they can reliably play like 4 or 5 different schemes, that's going to really help them, not just in this series, but in potentially securing yet another championship for the Warriors, because, that's just hard to guard against. Like, you looked at the way Phoenix was able to adjust from game to game within their series. You look at the way Milwaukee was able to adjust game to game within their series. Like, you saw a lot of Milwaukee came out, for example, against Boston game 1 with their traditional defense of leaving the 3-point line open, keeping a center near the paint and always just denying the basket in a deep drop and basically doing everything possible to protect the basket, right? And they were able to win game one. Then, of course, as the series went on, they started doing more switching. They started guarding more on the perimeter. They were less, solid in the paint because of that and all that stuff. And then you saw them sort of adjust. That's cool when you can adjust game to game, but when you have a menu of like 5 different defenses you can throw out any given game, that's harder for, I think, for other teams, especially stars, to sort of plan for. So salute to the Warriors. And yeah, I don't know. When you watch these games and you see all these defenses thrown out there, do you think Nick Nurse is just at home being like,
just copycat? Everybody's just copying him.
Do you think he's at home doing the Drake thing? Is like, look around, you know?
This wasn't here before me. No, I think Nick is in Montana visiting Phil Jackson right now. Sounds like something that he does every offseason.
Okay.
Everyone's taking it easy except for the two of us. No, I don't
know, man. You came into the office 5 minutes before the start of the show at 1:55. You were carrying golf clubs, which I'm now carrying on the show for some reason.
Yes, I'm returning to the links after a 3-year hiatus. For people that don't know, my dad is a licensed golf instructor. That's all he does. He's just retired and he golfs every day and then he teaches at night.
Generational wealth.
Yes, generational wealth. And, he invited me and a friend of the program, Mark Savell and Joe Cash, to a foursome at a really difficult course in a couple of weeks. So I just had to pull some clubs, my 1997 Canadian Tire clubs. And I got to hit the range. I can't disappoint my dad because that's all I've been to him, my whole life.
Okay, all right.
A disappointment.
It's getting too personal.
Oh, anyways, back to the Warriors. I was looking at the box score too, and Andrew Wiggins had a really good game.
Yep.
I feel like he's like what do you call it, man? A rich man like Jeff Green for that team. Because Jeff Green, tell me your favorite 3 Jeff Green moments. Right, you can't name anything, but
2018 to beat the
Celtics. Right. He was LeBron's sidekick in that Game 7, especially. But just a really good role player who just fits in. And Wiggins came in. You remember all the hype that Wiggins got, coming into the league, and he was being compared to LeBron and some of the best. But I feel like he's really slid into this role that's perfect for him in Golden State. And I look at Steph Curry and Klay Thompson last night. Steph was 3 of 9 from 3. Klay hit 1 3-pointer. I think we think of the Warriors the way we always think of them, but that's not how they win games anymore. They win games with contributions from Kevon Looney, who's their Maple Rodman, Otto Porter coming off the bench. It's really strength in numbers, which was their go-to slogan.
Yeah.
So long ago. It's no longer just the Splash Brothers carrying them. Jordan Poole, of course, I haven't even mentioned.
Yeah, he's always great.
Yeah. But my thing is they're not this, invincible team that they were before. And we've seen Dallas bounce back. They lost game 1 without Luka in the first round to Utah. They gave up the first 2 games to Phoenix. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I feel I don't know, man. The way Dallas plays is just it's the 3-point variance for them.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really just a 3-point variance. And you know what you're going to get pretty much from Luka. And I guess my question for you was, too, is Luka the hardest player to scheme against right now in the NBA? Because I heard you and Blake, and then you guys talk you guys have all been saying there's really no way to stop him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think he is the hardest player to scheme against. I think what's also hard to sort of account for is players who play within certain systems that makes the whole system work. That makes that system hard to scheme against. I think the Warriors are probably harder to scheme against just as a team. But as an individual player, especially as a player who is at the controls for 80% of possessions, you think for Dallas? What do you think? Is that over exaggeration to say Luka is directly involved in 80% of Dallas's possessions when he's on the floor?
He starts. Yeah, he touches the ball in every possession basically.
Yeah. No, the way honestly, I don't know if you ever were in that era where you were able to create a player in 2K and you make it look like yourself.
Right.
So I put the head size as big as possible.
Yeah.
And then you give yourself all sorts of attributes, and then you play, and then you keep building your character or whatever. And then essentially the way you will play is not a regular style. I'm not out there hey, I'm a 3-and-D guy. I'm gonna wait for the corner kick out. No, I'm gonna be a big wing player and touch the ball every single time and try to get as many stats as possible. That kind of really feels like how Dallas uses Luka, man. But yeah, he probably is the hardest player to scheme. So I think you're right. I mean, the 3-point shooting for Dallas was really poor last night. 11 for 48.
Yep.
And we know that team can really get hot from 3. But at the same time, though, I think the Warriors did a really good job of showing Luka tons of different looks. And I think when you're thinking about Jason Kidd and the coaching staff and the rest of the people who are, planning for game 2 in Dallas, like you have to really come up with like 4 or 5 different counters to all the different little defensive schemes that the Warriors are throwing out there. And I think the harder part is like getting to execute those counters without knowing which one the Warriors are going to throw at you. Because it kind of reminds you of the Warriors are like right now like one of those pitchers that has like 5 pitches that he can throw at you.
You love the baseball pitcher reference, by the way.
The Warriors are like you, Darvish.
Okay.
Yeah, you just never know, man. They might set you up for a curveball, but they throw a fastball in that count and just blow the high heat past you. And so that's the part that's been really fun to watch, this weird little cat and mouse game that everyone's playing with Luka. But I mean, look, I still think this series is going to go long, just like I think Heat versus Celtics is going to go long.
Yeah. So Derek White is not available tonight. He's flying home, for the birth of his first child, I think, to be there.
Yeah, cool.
And
good for him, man.
Al Horford is trying to get out of health and safety protocols.
Yeah,
Just imagine him trying to crawl out of a roof. No. He's like, I know I'm not vaccinated, but like, I got no symptoms. I'm ready, coach.
Yeah, I just imagine he has a box of rapid tests at his house, and he has to just test nonstop.
The Abbott rapid test.
He's probably got a mad headache from the amount of times he swabbed his nose at this point.
No, but
yeah, he's trying to get out of there.
That's another reason why. Just get vaccinated. But like,
no,
yeah.
he is vaccinated.
Is he not? Is he vaccinated? I thought he wasn't.
It was some controversy. He came out and clarified he is.
Okay. So
I think Jaylen Brown has stole some doubt over.
Okay,
we'll see next time the Raptors play the Celtics.
Yeah. So I take the last 2 minutes of content back, but yeah. So Miami had a really impressive second half. But yeah, I'm with you. I think Boston's a scary team, man. Boston's just a scary team. I've come around to accepting it.
It's unfortunate
that they're a scary team.
I know on the weekend you were hating on Jason Tatum like really hard. Which
After he scored 46 in that game 6 to save their season.
Yes. Well, what I appreciated was before that game 6, you're like, nah, they're done. The Celtics are done. Jason Tatum's not all that, And then afterwards, after I told you the news that he had scored like 46 to beat the Bucks on the road to extend their series, you were like, yeah, but he still sucks. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate the hater. Like, I appreciate the hater in you.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to have an actual basketball conversation with you. I was like, yeah, he's Paul George with sideburns.
You're like, why are you bringing work to me outside of work? Man?
I don't even want to talk about work when I'm at work.
Yeah, fair enough.
So why don't we run through? I have some of these. I came up with some true or false questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
And maybe we can use that as a way to have a conversation. Actually, before we even go into this, you were mentioning the Mavs. 3-point shooting, 11 for 48. It made me think about the Bucks shooting 4 for 33 from 3 in Game 7 against Boston.
Oh man,
I don't know. I don't know if this is a valid question. Like, at what point are we like shooting too many threes? Because like I know that in this new analytics era, and the conversation is always like 3 is better than 2. But 2 is better than 0 too if you're shooting like 4 for 33. Like, I'm just wondering, like, at what point is the playing style of some of these teams actually going to trend another way? Because as good as Grant Williams was in Game 7, like he took 18 threes.
Yeah.
And it was just so extreme. It just made me think, like, at what point are we going to not do this where like the role players are being left open and teams are just taking all these threes? Like, is there going to be a shift at some point?
I mean, I think so. I think the shift is, that's a really good question. I think that the shift is going to come in the way teams are able to defend, because like you're always going to be stretched. Like, that's just the game of basketball. You're stretched between guarding the paint and guarding the 3-point line, especially with teams with lots of shooters. You're going to really have to guard both. That's where you got to get more creative as a team. And I think the coaches like Steve Kerr, who's been able to cycle through a bunch of defenses, like Eric Spoelstra, who's been able to cycle through a lot of defenses, like Nick Nurse, who was the first one to really do this. And in the more recent era of basketball, like those are the coaches that are going to be successful, because you're not going to be able to succeed throwing one look out there. Like, realistically, based on the way fouls are called, based on the way that, skill level has increased. Like, you should think about it in the past, right? Like, if you're like not good at offense, like you're just, it's just hard for you to stay on the floor. But now, as long as you can hit a standstill, catch and shoot 3-point shot, like Grant Williams is not really a good offensive player, but he can hit a standstill, catch and shoot 3.
But that's what I'm saying.
And that's all you really need.
You could pick 100 players who could have done that in Game 7 if you gave them 18 3-point attempts.
Yeah, probably. I mean, first off, you got to give him a lot of credit for having the willingness to do that.
Yes, he didn't shy away from it after missing, I think, his first 4.
But functionally, like in terms of talent, like a lot of players could have served that role. And that's where I'm disappointed in Milwaukee in that they couldn't adjust sort of within games and throw different looks out there. They had one look all the time. Like, I mean, like, to extend the baseball analogy, like, Mike Budenholzer coached like he was Mariano Rivera, man. It was just splitter. It was like every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
The cutter, sorry. My bad.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cutter,
You know, you guys
Did he
know
have a
what
splitter?
it
I don't think he had a splitter.
Yeah, let's
But it basically, yeah, it
let's
was just
leave
like
that for Blair and Barker.
that was playing Tiago Splitter.
Oh, okay. So first true or false question for you. True or false, Jimmy Butler is the most underrated playoff superstar right now.
Yeah. That's completely true, I think. I think that I just admire, look at, like, so to put this in perspective of Raptor fans, like, one thing I always loved about Kyle is that maybe he doesn't score all the time, maybe he doesn't always, like, impact the game or dominate the game. In fact, I honestly can't recall that many playoff moments where Kyle Lowry dominated the game, but he impacted every single game and got the most out of all the possessions by doing all the little stuff. I love stars who are like, I'm cool with setting a screen. I'm cool with, like, making the extra pass here. I'm cool with getting my hands dirty on defense. I'm cool with, selling, a foul call and anything like that. Like, I just need you to do everything possible to win within your abilities. I know your abilities are limited because in case of Kyle, he's extremely limited just based on his size. That's what I appreciate about Jimmy is that he does all those little role player things in addition to the fact that he can also be a star player. So yeah, of course, like, he's been doing a lot of scoring and he's been carrying the Heat that way, but he also does so many little things in between that I'm just like, that's really cool, man. I really respect when stars are, like, because there's two types of stars. There's like that kind of star, and then there's like the James Harden, like, I'm gonna do my thing and I'm gonna be super good at it, but I'm not gonna do anything else.
Yeah, and literally not going to run back. Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm
an
too
elimination
cool to play
game.
defense. I'm too cool to set a screen. I'm too cool to move off ball.
Now he's too cool to just take shots, man.
He's
He's not even taking shots. Yo, James Harden without taking shots, like, what is he? No, what is he giving you? Tell me right now. Like, it's ridiculous. I think of Jimmy as, like, what I think a lot of Raptors fans may have wanted someone like DeMar to be. Because Jimmy doesn't have the 3-point shot, but he obviously is able to generate the offense, and on the defensive end, it's not even close, right? Like, Jimmy,
of course.
Jimmy is a great defensive player. I've just been thinking about this because he's got more 40-point games in the playoffs in Heat history than, like, LeBron.
Yeah,
which to me is like ridiculous because I know
he's been there like half the time.
Yeah, and I know LeBron has played, with Dwayne Wade, with Chris Bosh over there, where he had the support that he didn't need to be like Cleveland LeBron putting up 45, 50 a night
honestly,
to win.
There were real points in LeBron's tenure with Miami, like, for example, when they went into Boston and he had to, like, really.
Oh yeah,
the game where
the stare down,
game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, but like,
just like Wade and Bosh were also like, yes, they were super talented. No one's gonna talk down on them, but Wade was also breaking down, and Chris Bosh was just, honestly, man, there were a lot of, like, single digit games for Chris, not single digit, like, but like.
Well, he had the classic 0-point game in Game 7. There was a 0-point game, which he celebrated for because Heat culture. But yeah, I think Jimmy didn't get a lot of credit.
Kyle to do that now.
Yeah, Kyle is. I believe Kyle's still out. But
yeah, that's really tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, that's when they have good depth too. Gabe Vincent, the second most underrated player.
No, this summer, Masai, Bobby, I know you're putting up all the flow charts right now of every single player you're going after with the mid-level. Like, we need to land a Gabe Vincent, okay? A Gabe Vincent and Max Strus.
The cool thing with Gabe Vincent and Max Strus is that they're both, like, two-way guys that they're able to, like, grow and develop them to the point where now they're, like, very productive players. And I think, like, honestly, like, I'm gonna quickly look up their salary. I'm gonna quickly say that just by estimate, they probably make it less than a combined $5 million per year.
Yeah, and that is the exact type of player that I want the Toronto Raptors to be able to pick up if they're gonna add to the depth. And I think the other part about Jimmy too, I think he gets underrated because he had his most successful playoff run when it took place in the bubble. And a lot of people just have this perception that anything that happened in the bubble just didn't count.
Yep.
But that was one of the greatest playoff runs. Like, he had Bam alongside him. He had our favorite Goran Dragic playing a huge role during that finals run. Why are you laughing? He did.
I guess so, yeah.
But yeah, no, so shouts to Jimmy, man. I feel like we got to put Jimmy up there when it comes to guys because we scrutinize all these superstars all the time. And, like, Jimmy just keeps getting it done.
Yeah, exactly. And whatever the job is, like, he's just going to do it for a team. Going back to this point, so I confirmed. I pulled up the Heat salary page. Gabe Vincent making $1.7 million this year.
Okay.
Actually, 1.67. Max Strus, same contract, 1.67. Both of those guys are getting paid this year less than Svi Mihajlovic is being paid by the Raptors this year.
Interesting.
So anyway, there's a huge value in being able to develop that kind of talent, and that's where Miami's done a really good job of it. I mean, the Raptors have done a good job of it too, but now Miami's like
these are playoff contributors.
Yeah, you're getting like starter. I mean, like in the case of Strus, he's actually starting, but like you're getting starter level production from two guys who are making a combined $3 million.
That score one for the Heat culture narrative.
They still get paid less than $2 million next year as well.
Man.
And then they're restricted free agents.
You know, Sam Presti's trying to get them right now. It's like, let me get them that reverse contract where they just keep making less money after each year. Yo, who does that?
They started the league minimum and then they start making less. Who made that contract?
We need to honestly have a labor investigation into guys like Daryl Morey and Sam Presti. Like, they get celebrated for like picking up all these guys and like signing them to these contracts. Like, we shouldn't celebrate that.
Nah, man, that's ridiculous.
Yo,
man.
Lou Dort, if Lou Dort hit free agency tomorrow, you don't think he's getting $20 million a year? He would get 20. I think he could get 15 to 20 million a year. I really do.
The funny thing is, you talk about these salaries, but like, didn't Scottie Pippen like make $1 million per year for like?
Yes.
What was it?
Adjust that for inflation though. Yeah.
Okay.
But yes.
I guess gas at that time was 40 cents.
No,
and not $2.
Okay, so what happened back in the day was I mean, the Scottie Pippen story is he came from a very poor background, and for him it was about securing security, right?
Yeah.
Securing money. I think he signed like an 8 to 10 year contract basically.
And he was getting paid $1 million every year.
8 years. No, he wasn't getting paid $1 million. It was like 8 years for like 35 million, something like that. But he was criminally underpaid. Like, he was criminally underpaid, and he wasn't happy. He requested to be traded multiple times, and now he's bitter. Now he's just really bitter.
Now he's writing books.
No, it's a shame to see what happened with Pippen and MJ. That'll be me and you in 25 years.
Damn.
I'm like, yo, all the attention was on Will, you know?
Oh, damn.
No, but
you'll be writing books.
But yeah, about you. But it does bring, we talk about the Raptors needing to pick up these guys. It does bring me to the reason why I'm actually here, is to talk to you about Jalen Harris, who made his return to Toronto.
I thought we were going to do true and false.
Yeah. No. We're going to keep flowing through the true and false.
Okay,
it's real chill. It's off season, you know.
I know.
But yeah, Jalen Harris is back.
Yeah, happy for you first off.
Yeah. I was debating waiting outside Cactus Club to see if he could sign my jersey.
Man, not to reveal where Jalen Harris was or where you lived.
Yeah,
but
we live pretty close.
It felt like you guys were.
He might be in my condo.
I was going to say.
He might be in my condo.
The same view might be had from your condo.
Yeah, but Jalen Harris is back. But I did ask Blake Murphy about this, and then Blake just said he could see the Raptors giving them a two-way, or like just letting him be in the system for the summer to like make sure he kind of gets back on like the radars of scouts, and maybe he just latches on to another team. But now that he's back, why not, give Jalen Harris a look in training camp, see what happens.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind. I think, look, you want to find, the goal is to find like young talent that will ultimately, hopefully be developed by you. And then once you develop those players, then you have them under team control. Like basically like Gabe Vincent, like a Max Strus. I think Jalen, I mean, it's so hard to make any assessments of him because you barely saw him in the Tampa season. And I don't even just mean with the Raptors. You barely saw him like in the G League. You barely saw him. They didn't play no summer league even. They barely played preseason. Like, there's just no sample size on what he can really do, aside from what he did in Italy this year, which I don't even really look at the stats that fully because, like, where was he in Italy, man?
Yeah, Blake Murphy said that he didn't have a great season in Italy this year.
Also, I mean, like, offensive numbers are a little bit lower in Italy, just natural, or just over in Europe and naturally. There's different defensive schemes, all this other stuff. And then before that, I guess you have his, like, college career at Colorado or something, but I don't know. Apparently, the Mountain West Conference wasn't like the most competitive one either.
What kind of off-season content is this?
Yeah, this is
the
tough.
Mountain West Valley Conference.
Bro, listen,
yo, just take your headphones off and leave the studio.
Salute to everyone who listened to Raptors over everything for that Tampa season.
Yo, everybody, please go and rate and review. Give us 5 stars. We'd be really appreciative.
Who else talking about the Mountain West Conference?
Should I buy, sell, or trade my Jalen Harris jersey? What do you think?
I don't think.
I can't buy it because I have it. Should I sell or trade, or should I just hold it?
No, you sound like Wes at the poker table on the weekend.
Shouts to Tom Henry.
You could
Seeing
check,
him, seeing him at a live comedy show tonight.
you can
Anyways,
raise. Bro, how about are you just trying to be real life friends with him?
Tom Henry is my guy.
That's your guy
Everybody
now,
look
huh?
up Tom Henry's 66 jokes
Yeah, he came to our event
on
actually.
Crave. He
Monday.
came to
Yeah,
our
yeah.
event. I invited him. He was so nice.
Did he find you like you and me funny? 'Cause
Yeah,
he's a comedian.
he said
so
he
there's,
said
like, standard.
everybody on sports radio is trying to be funny, and you guys are actually doing it.
Oh, wow.
I have a text from him. Yeah.
That's a really, really nice compliment.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But now we're sitting here talking about the mountain. What is it? The Mountain West Valley.
Name one more team in the
You
Mountain
coulda-
West Conference.
No, I'm
man.
telling you, you could have just said no to the Jalen Harris conversation. Like, why did you have to try to engage? All right, let's do one more true or false, and then
Yeah, sure.
we can take this break. True or false? Given what we've seen in the playoffs so far, specifically in the Eastern Conference, there's still a significant gap between the Raptors and the actual contenders in the East.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the significant gap is you need like top end talent.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so
Cool.
do you see a Luka on the team, a Steph on the team? Is
Yeah.
anyone even as good as Jimmy? Like, I mean, like I know regular season we were having these conversations. This playoff level of Jimmy, like I know Pascal's done a lot, but like
Yeah.
I still would need to see it. Trust me, this is a different level.
Mhm.
And even Tatum. So yeah, that's a big limiting factor.
All right, OG, next year's got to be the year, man. Let's do it.
Nah, can we just go once
OG.
off season without expecting OG to come back a different player?
No, OG, please, next year,
He's
please.
gonna come back as Mikal Bridges once again, man. Just like X-axis Mikal Bridges rather than Y-axis Mikal Bridges.
No, we need some. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's gonna take a couple years. It's gonna take a couple years for this Raptors team.
No, it's gonna take for Scotty to like hit that superstar level if he eventually gets there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
What do you think Scotty's doing right now?
I don't know. Didn't he record something with Dwayne Wade?
Yes.
For TV. He showed up in his whole
for Coinbase.
Burberry outfit and just sat there. Yeah. Shouts to Scotty. I want Scotty to step up with the media game next year.
I agree.
Because
with
we
you.
didn't really learn a lot about him, and we saw some behind the scenes clips.
He still seemed a little bit shy, which
Yeah.
is not unexpected for a 20-year-old.
You don't want to say the wrong thing to like. I mean, I think he has to learn
what's
too,
the
though.
wrong thing that Scotty could say?
I
What could
don't
Scotty
know.
possibly say that people are going to be out on Scotty?
I don't
He's
know.
so insanely popular.
He'll
He
be
could say
like
anything.
He'll be like Chris Boucher shouldn't play basketball like you did. You
I
know?
did not say that.
I'm just
Did
kidding.
not say that, man.
Chris, he did not say that. That was fictional. No,
Yeah.
but I think Scotty got to
Oh,
know
he
too.
knows. He listens.
Scotty's got to know too that the city is here to embrace him. Like
Yeah,
the city
yeah,
is
yeah,
here
yeah.
to embrace
But
him.
maybe, honestly though, maybe it's our responsibility. Like maybe we don't have like the right
I don't want
media
responsibility.
person to bring that side out of it.
What
you know?
about you?
We did interview Scotty once,
We interviewed him on media day. It was like a quick 5-10 minute.
and it
thing,
wasn't
right?
even supposed to happen.
Yeah, did he just pop in?
So the way we were set up on media day, we were all in the Scotiabank and everything like that. We were set up by the stairs, and the players were going downstairs for social, and all the players were scheduled to go downstairs for social. When they came upstairs, they had a choice between going to get photos done
Or come sit with us?
or come sit with us. And
Right.
most of the time, they just came to sit with us. So we weren't even scheduled to have Fred or Scotty.
Right.
I think maybe even Gary. Gary,
Yeah, I think a lot of them just did drop by. I think Nick at one point wanted to drop by
yeah.
because he was curious. And,
Damn, we missed our shot, man.
yeah, now
okay,
we've
we'll
been
get
waiting
Nick.
here.
We'll get Nick. What do you think Nick's doing right now?
he's in Montana with Phil Jackson.
Okay.
Telling you.
All right.
Or he's building a stadium to start another G League team. He's always up to something.
Yeah, Nick doesn't get enough credit for doing so much in his life.
I think
Like,
Nick.
he's
I think
always-
Nick gets enough credit.
No, I just mean like he's always
Nick-
doing stuff, man.
Nick gets enough
He's
credit
like,
in this
yeah,
city.
like, you're like, oh yeah, Nick's gonna receive his doctorate.
Who on the Raptors like player, coach, front office do you think number one doesn't get enough credit? I think they all get the proper credit. We celebrate everyone in this organization in the city. You can't think of anybody.
Yeah,
Everyone's properly
That's
rated.
tough.
Yeah.
that's tough.
Anyways,
Yeah.
great banter. More true or false when we come back. Lots of news and notes, including Spencer Dinwiddie having a $1 bonus if the Mavericks win the championship.
Yes, that's an actual bit of news that we will cover. So we're gonna take a break right here. I'm your host Wolu. You've been listening to the Raptors Show on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Welcome back to the Raptors Show on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. I'm your host, Wim Liu. I continue to join my producer and co-host, Alex Wong. So I just checked in on the YouTube stream, which is a lot less toxic, but also a lot less active. Just a bit of a trade-off, I guess, when you're talking about internet interaction. Anyway, one of the questions from the YouTube stream is, Alex, what's your handicap in golf?
My handicap? Oh, I'm terrible. So I haven't golfed in 3 years, so probably like, I don't know, like a 20.
What's a 20?
20 means like if it's like a par 72, I shoot like a plus 20. That's not that bad. It's like a bogey per hole. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad?
It's like an amateur type. Apparently, Joseph Cacharo said he's a terrible golfer. He's actually really intimidated to go golf with my dad.
And then your dad has also mentored
Mark
Savell.
He has actually taught Mark Savell, and Mark Savell shaved, I think, like 12 off his handicap, basically.
12?
Yeah. No, my dad's a legit. If anybody's interested, I would love to say that I can remember my dad's website, which I built
I think
from.
I said your dad's name. I was like,
no, WGLessons.com. Wong Golf Lessons. WGLessons.com. He used to put up like signs, like, you know how like when you like sell a house or something, you put a sign outside real estate. Like he would have signs advertising himself in Markham, and he would drive to all the Costco's and put them outside, and they would always just throw them out the day after.
I'm telling you, man, that's basically what Nick Nurse used to do.
Yeah, no, my dad might be Nick Nurse,
a shooting specialist.
Yeah, give or take,
specialist. Maybe your dad can, give a couple pointers to Nick, because I think Nick is also a golfer.
Let's get us to talk to Nick first.
Okay, well, when we talk to
my dad,
yeah, because we had the running storyline this year of the ramen and all this stuff. Like we need you to have a running storyline.
No,
and that's your dad getting to teach Nick Nurse how to golf.
We can't have running storylines for people who only show up 3 times a week. It's hard to build momentum.
Oh, okay.
For that. Anyway,
Fair enough.
Some news and notes before we get back to the slowest true or false segment in history.
Yeah, well, I forgot we're still in this segment.
Yeah, sorry.
Someone said that's tampering. That's not tampering.
Yeah, come on.
What are we tampering with? Yeah, anyway.
So again, last time we'll mention the live event. Really thank you everyone for coming on Monday, and for people who weren't there. One of the things that we did.
You missed out. First off.
Oh, you missed out. But like, we'll have more events to come. But like, one of the segments we did was, to have audience participation. We had some people come up and small talk with Will, because that's one of Will's weaknesses that I wanted to address. And it's also classic me to, like, even at a live event, to outsource work to other people. And one of our longtime listeners and a Will Lou stan, Jason, came up and then really just stole the show. Everybody there understands
so
what I mean when I say
we couldn't talk about like the Raptors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because otherwise I can definitely have a 2-minute conversation about the Raptors. No, Jason was a stranger. I guess we had interacted on social before, but just, no idea what he looked like or, who he was. But he came up there, with a haircut that looked exactly like what I had to my grade 12 prom.
Yep.
You even showed me a photo to confirm, which is freaky because I didn't know you in grade 12.
I have a collection of photos of you from every era.
My baby photos.
Yeah, remember the baby photo with the pants? We won't go any further about that though.
Okay, chap.
you joke, but I actually have photos of you from every era. But yes, you guys chatted. Right. He's a longtime listener and he loves the React Pod.
And he was saying that he was like, my girlfriend gets very annoyed because I'll play it like before. I'll stay up first off, and then I'll play the reaction podcast while we're in bed.
So he's blasting it on his like Sonos speakers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know the reaction podcast was a group hang. I thought it was like a solo, activity that you just pop in your AirPods.
I don't think his girlfriend was too thrilled with that. So, but then of course I followed up and asked. I was like, is it ever on during, And then he's like, yeah, we never get that far. So I was like, okay.
No, he says that he never makes it to the 3 stars. On your show.
Well, in any case, anyway, Jason was very hilarious. Had a good time. I think he got interviewed as well. So
yes,
there'll be plenty of Jason content. But yeah, salute. I mean, listen, if you are also somebody who listens to the reaction podcast in bed, let me know. I want to know these details. How do you consume the content?
Yeah, I'm good. And so I thought we would not just give Jason a shout out, but I hate to do this to you, Amy Audibert. Just know that you're still part of the inner circle of the Raptors Show.
Oh, she misses one week on the show, and this is what happens? Okay.
Jason Zong, you are the new global ambassador of the Raptors Show. I feel like we've been giving the global ambassador title to like media people, and they don't need it. Does
Sure,
Faisal
yeah,
Kamisa
yeah, yeah.
need to be a global ambassador? He's Faisal Kamisa.
No, he's the mayor.
Danielle
of Jurassic,
Michaud?
He's the mayor of Jurassic Park.
Danielle Michaud just like chilling out at her, pool at home in Newmarket, with her partner T. I just say T because I don't know if it's Tom or Tim or Thomas. Just call him T. Yeah. Shouts to my guy T.
Oh my
Right?
God.
James Herbert's chilling in Brooklyn. It's all good.
Just
So
stop doxing
and Amy
all the
Audibert,
reporters, man,
Amy
please.
Audibert, rookie of the year. Like nobody's gonna get hurt by this. So Jason actually emailed me an acceptance speech. He said it's such an honor to be the new official global ambassador. I don't take these accolades lightly. I would like to thank my mom and dad for being strict on me and telling me I could never be a comedian. I would like to thank my girlfriend for being by my side, even though she just wants the season to be over so I can spend more time with her.
Yeah.
This award also goes out to my hater friend who now roots for the purple and gold after LeBron snatched his soul. I will engrave this honor into my resume. I also want to remind the kids out there, understand the grind. I'm just a kid from Mississauga. Never underestimate the heart of an Asian champion. So, yeah, there we go, Jason.
Wow. Good job, Jason.
Yeah, great job, Jason. I sent you the 4 Jays tickets, and he's like, oh, you sent it to me on a date where I'm not available. So he passed it on to his friends.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's
shouts to
nice.
Jason.
Yeah.
Everybody won a prize on Monday, pretty much.
That was honestly really great. It was really, really
great.
great.
My storage room is clear now. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Someone in the chat, Jordan, says, love to gently nod off to the sweet sounds of William Blue.
I'm telling you, man. It's
That's wild, man.
Yeah, no, it is wild.
But listen, keep listening to the Rack Pod. I don't care when you listen to it.
Yeah.
Or how you listen to it. Yeah.
News and notes. Congrats to Scotty Barnes on making the all-rookie first team.
Yes.
Unanimous selection.
We all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. This was
Him,
a foregone
Cade,
conclusion.
Evan Mobley, all unanimous first team.
Yep.
Some controversy, I guess. Do you care that Jalen Green made the first team over Josh Giddey?
I do not care.
Yeah, me neither. Also, I think Jalen Green had a pretty good case for it. He was pretty good the second half of the season. Scored very efficiently at a high volume, which for a rookie is very impressive.
Yeah, was he in the Mountain West Valley Conference?
Basically, that's honestly, I would be very curious to see how the Houston Rockets fare in the Mountain
Hey,
West
remember when we
Conference.
full court pressed the Houston Rockets and they just committed 10 turnovers in a row?
Yep, and all for layups too. It was incredible. That team is so bad, but
sometimes you do get some insight into like how teams are just not very well coached.
yeah, that's one of those. Also, by the way, I'm happy that Giddey's upset because this is the issue when you play for OKC. If you're even remotely good, they make you stop playing basketball. Do you really want to play basketball for a team in which they make you stop playing basketball if you are good at basketball? Just think about that, because that's part of the reason why Giddey didn't ultimately make it. Also, he had some injuries or whatever, but like, yeah.
Yeah, also tanking comes from a place of privilege, It comes from a place of like job security and thinking that you're going to be there for 5 to 7 years. But anyways.
Has anybody signed a contract as a free agent to go play for OKC at a number like above $5 million in the last like 3-4 years?
No, I swear.
So everybody's there unwittingly.
I swear
against their will. Like they've been traded there or they've been drafted there. Okay, all right.
No, I think their biggest signing legit is like Mike Muscala.
Did they re-sign him?
I don't know. Anyways, I thought this was a joke today when I saw it this morning, but Philadelphia City Council passed a resolution naming Joel Embiid the most valuable Philadelphian. The MVP.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I can only laugh at this. What's going on, man? Just go for who cares about the MVP? You're one of the best players in the league.
A couple of things. Number one, I gotta think politicians got more things to do than this.
Yeah,
like,
especially in the world right now.
There's definitely more important things for them to do.
Soothing Joel Embiid's feelings.
Than that. Number two, this is the second MVP that Joel has won this year. He also said to reporters after the Jokic announcement was made that he won the more important award than MVP. He became the most valuable father.
Right. Most valuable parent, I guess.
Which is cool, but also like it's also kind of corny. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. So look, I'm just saying, like, yeah, he did win MVP. It's too bad, but
just get out of the second round, man.
This really does open you up for a few jokes, but I think for the city of Philadelphia, like, they probably need to do everything possible to try to appease Joel. And honestly, he did play heroically through injuries for that team and got them back even in the second round. So, you have to give him a lot of credit, but at the same time, it just does also open itself up to a lot of jokes.
Philly is under the most pressure next season to get to the conference finals of any East team.
Yeah.
Philly
and
Brooklyn.
They go boo the politicians the way they boo the players? They should. Like, honestly, I'd boo the politician who did this, man. This is some corny stuff.
Philly's actually a pretty funny franchise when you think about just their last decade. Like, what success have they achieved? Success versus media coverage scale.
Also, who was in competition for most valuable Philadelphian?
I don't know. Kyle Lowry?
I guess so. In that series, he wasn't very good because he was injured.
Yeah, like we mentioned, Spencer Dinwiddie has a $1 bonus in his contract if he wins the title. Yes. What would you do with that dollar, by the way? That's the first thing I want to know. You win the title, Masai hands you the loonie. What do you do?
I'm investing in Spencer Dinwiddie coin.
Okay, I am taking a free bus, Safeway tours to a Fallsview casino, and I'm putting that on 00 at the roulette table.
Honestly, so then you have $21 because you got a $20 voucher as well.
Yes, I go have my buffet.
Yeah,
and I go home.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty.
And
good
I won
deal.
the championship.
Damn. No, seriously, $1. Honestly, very few things in life nowadays cost $1.
Thanks, economist.
I'm gonna assume that's a U.S. dollar. So in Canada, I guess that's like $1.25 or something like that. I don't know what the exchange rate is right now.
Thanks once again, Bank of Canada.
And the only thing you could really buy with that is like you go to like one of those Chinese bakeries and you get yourself like a hot dog bun.
Hot dog buns are like $1.20, man. Price of the brick going up.
Oh my God! No, seriously. When I came to this country, hot dog buns were 60 cents, and you pay in cash. There's never tax.
Yeah,
that transaction just didn't exist.
Yeah, those under the table cash transactions are slowly moving away now.
Yeah,
like I was in Chinatown. I paid
who's
cash.
auditing the Chinese bakery, man? Please leave them alone.
No, yeah, leave them alone. Don't expose them. We don't want to get any of these businesses in trouble.
Yeah,
Happy Asian Heritage Month.
That's right.
Back to true or false.
Okay, yeah, we're still doing true or false. Oh my God.
True or false, regular season records matter. So I was thinking about this. Milwaukee kind of punted on going for the number 2 seed and ended up not having a Game 7. Yes.
Coming into the last day of the season.
Yes, they had.
If they had won their game, they would have been the number 2 seed.
They were in control, yes.
But they played Thanasis Antetokounmpo 44 minutes.
Yep. Yep.
So that's not kind of.
No, that was a Sam Presti move.
Actually, you think Sam Presti will trade for Thanasis? I feel like it'd be very valuable to OKC's tanking efforts.
You think guys like Andre Ingram sitting at home being like, yo, that spot could be mine?
I mean,
like, I can actually play.
You just got to change your name.
Anyways, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Miami as the number 1 seed, and I think home court is actually playing out for them. But then I also think about, like, when we look at regular season teams, like, does it matter? Like, we look at Phoenix, they won 64 games, and it's a completely different team in the playoffs. I guess my question, okay, I guess it's 2-part. Like, the first part is just like, does it matter? Like, should teams just go for the best record? Like, should teams just go for the seeding and not get so cute about, like, which side of the bracket I'm on? I want to avoid Brooklyn and all this stuff. Because that cost Milwaukee.
Yeah. I tend to lean in favor of winning the games when they're there to be won. I mean, like, I don't think you should, like, extend your players or risk them unnecessarily. Like, if you have the 2 seed completely locked up, there's no need to, like, play your starters at that point. There's nothing left to play for, but there's something left to play for. I'm generally side on the side of just being, competitive, even if it's only for the people who are there to see the team that day, or like the people who are tuning in to watch the product. Like, I don't know, man. The whole goal of sports is to win. Have you heard of Masai press conference?
Yeah, I've heard them all. But on the flip side though, say you were the Raptors and LeBron was still in the East. On the last day, you have a game against Orlando, and if you win, you get the number 2 seed, but you get LeBron. Versus if you tank it, you drop to 3 and you play DeMar DeRozan in the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I'm tanking.
And that's it. Yeah. So there we go.
I don't know.
So there we go.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So, but it did cost Milwaukee, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it did. But I mean, they had Game 6 at home too. They could have closed it out there. They should have probably.
Yeah,
Giannis had
that's a good point.
Almost 50 points.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they couldn't get it done.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
True or false? If you were to draft superstars you want in a best of 7 series right now, your top 2 picks would be Giannis and Luka.
Superstar, yeah.
Like if you wanted one player, if you could draft one player to build around for a 7-game series.
We're just playing a 7-game series?
It's just a 7-game series.
And they're fully healthy?
Yeah.
Give me Kawhi Leonard.
Oh my God.
I don't want either.
I like that a lot,
Give me Kawhi Leonard, bro. Are you kidding me? Fully healthy Kawhi Leonard in a 7-game series still might be the best player. I don't care, man. Kawhi, come home. Only this kind of loyalty do you get this.
That's a good one. That's the one thing I asked you at the live event was, Kawhi comes back, but you can never have dim sum again.
I gave up dim sum for Kawhi, man.
Man.
Yeah, no, Kawhi's negative eyes, but
we're still thirsty for Kawhi.
What do you mean we're still thirsty for Kawhi, man?
Definitely
are you kidding me?
I mean, I'm the front runner.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Man, yeah, you know what? Thinking about last playoffs too, last year, the way the Clippers were kind of coming on against Utah when Kawhi had that dunk, and then we found out after, I think it was game 4, that he was out for the year. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, Clippers could have won it all last year.
Yeah, but they're the
off that
Clippers,
one
so,
injury. No, what?
Yeah.
So it's just because they're the Clippers?
Yeah.
All right.
No, they have no
actually,
the Clippers are the Tottenham Hotspur of the NBA. It is in their tradition to lose and to never win any competitions. But they will be a good team and have good players. Just like they have Kawhi and Paul George, just like how Tottenham has Harry Kane and Heung-min Son.
what? Where do you think?
You shouted about us. You're like your Asian Heritage Player of the Month 3 times. You know, still don't know him, man.
I got too many Asians on my mind. I can't keep track. Where do you think Steph belongs on this list? Do you think Steph would make like a top 5?
Yeah, I think he does. I think you just really need to build the rest of the infrastructure around him. Not to say that he's a system player, but like
I have a lot of trouble slotting Steph in when you have these discussions.
Sure, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But like he's got to be top 5, right? Like his resume is crazy. They've lost like I think 3 like playoff series.
Yeah, no,
in
he
his
is
prime.
that good of a talent. It's really hard to assess where Steph is individually. Not saying he's he's not a collaborative talent. He's a singular talent, but I think in order to make the most of it, you need to have the system around him to do it. But I think when you put the system around it, his ceiling is higher than most players who are just like the individual systems themselves. Yeah.
No, that's fair. All right,
Yeah.
last one for you. True or false? We will see an entirely new top 4 in the West next season,
Entirely new top
or
4.
it's possible we would see an entirely new top 4. So this
yeah,
year
I'm
the
still
top.
saying no, man.
So- So Phoenix, you think Phoenix is a top 4 team next year?
Yes.
Memphis,
Yes.
Golden State,
Probably, yeah.
Dallas.
Were they 4?
Yes, again. Yeah, they were 4.
Yeah.
Okay,
We,
so
we might have the same 4 actually.
what about the 2 teams I'm thinking about?
Yeah.
Denver and the Clippers. Fully healthy, both of them.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously
You don't seem very high on Denver every time I mention the Nuggets.
I-
You don't think that's a contender fully healthy?
Listen, man, they're getting back Jamal Murray off of a significant injury, and then they're getting back Michael Porter Jr., who is always a threat to have another significant injury.
He is
It's
really the
not like-
biggest injury threat in the league.
You're not exactly getting back you're getting back ceiling raisers, not floor raisers.
That's fair.
For regular season, I'm not so convinced. I mean, look, it's a huge upgrade. Don't get me wrong.
But then you slot Aaron Gordon back in to the spot that he belongs in on
What,
the
the
hierarchy.
fifth option?
Yes, no, it's for real. Yo, if Aaron Gordon is a fifth option,
Tobias Harris getting paid a regular amount.
yeah, that's fair. But they have Jokic is a monster,
Yeah, he is. I agree with you.
and
yeah.
he does like that would
and
upgrade their
they
team
have
so
the,
much.
the altitude and fans playing
Sure,
there. And honestly,
sure.
I think
It's real Mountain West Valley
no,
for
that's,
real.
that's the real Mountain West division, man. Yeah.
You don't think? I think that's a top 4 team.
What
if
about
they
the
stay
Clippers?
healthy.
What about the Pelicans?
I think the Pelicans.
Man,
could
the
come
Kings
up.
are never making the playoffs.
No, the Kings are really never.
Why did they trade for Sabonis?
If
What
you're
are
the
you doing, man?
if you're the Sacramento Kings and like say you win like a play-in game, do you raise a banner?
Yes. Honestly, like they need to have Patrick Beverley on that team because someone needs to fully celebrate that moment for them the way it needs to be celebrated. Yeah. You know, like someone's got
Yeah,
to
is
like.
Patrick Beverley still on ESPN?
Yeah. What's going on there with Patrick Beverley? So did he just spend the whole weekend? Does he live in New York?
He had a one-on-one sit down with Stephen A. after as well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. You saw
Nah.
Danny Green called him out.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Get well soon, Danny Green, seriously. It's
Yeah,
it's
get
really
well soon.
unfortunate. No, but seriously, the way we're seeing Patrick Beverley on ESPN
Yeah.
is the way we're seeing Steve Javie. When they go to confer and they're like, hey, let's bring in Steve Javie. And he's just always sitting there in that room with the TVs with no light at all. Yeah, that's the way they've kept Patrick Beverley there, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What a media tour run. No, I
Yeah.
think the Clippers could be the favorites next year in the West. They have a pretty loaded team. Kawhi, Paul George, Robert Covington, Norman Powell, Reggie Jackson's good.
Kind of.
Yeah, but come on.
Nick Batum is a really good role player.
You just picked Kawhi as number 1.
Yeah.
That you would take in a
I
best
don't
of 7
like
series.
the team construction around him. I still want a little bit more variability in terms of like some other talent. Like again, they still don't really have like a quality point guard.
They would be so good if they
Still don't
would
really
be so.
have
Imagine
a
if
quality
they
like starting level big
yeah.
man.
Imagine if they had like a Drew Holiday.
Sure, yeah.
But you don't like Reggie Jackson showed out in the playoffs. You're not asking for that much from him.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I still think they probably could improve their ball movement a little bit. I don't know, man. The Clippers are still theoretical to me. It's like you told me coming into a season, like Tottenham might make Champions League or Tottenham might,
I don't know
contend
Tottenham.
for
You
the
make
league. Like
you've
they're not.
referenced Tottenham like 3 times.
People who know football know this, man.
Anyways, we're doing Twitter questions tomorrow, saying it on air, so it's binding to Will.
That's right.
So I
We're
don't have to
gonna-
prepare a rundown.
Yeah, anything to lessen the workload for Alex. So good luck with your golfing today. And yeah, that does it for us today. I'm your host, William Liu. You've been listening to The Raptors Show on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Make sure you find The Raptors Show wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe. Please rate and review our show. A reminder, we're streaming live on Sportsnet YouTube channel and also airing live on Sportsnet 360 Monday to Friday between 2 and 3 p.m. Thanks again to my producer and co-host, Alex Wong, to our poor producer, Derek Brandell, and Jennifer Rolnick for helping us with the YouTube stream. We'll be back to talk to you tomorrow.